Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we watched Barracuda. Now we're going to watch Island Fury, also known as Please Don't Eat the Babies. Let's check it out. This is Bobby Lee and Sugar.
You're tasteful, Flash.
And they may not know it right now, but they're being followed.
I got my trusty roommate to keep me in line, huh?
By those two fellas. They're trying out clothes in Chinatown.
Try tucking it in.
Now look at the doubloon around her neck. That's a key to this film.
Now what? Sugar, do you see those guys over there? Huh? Those guys over there. I think they're following us. Where are they? No, don't look. Look at them in the mirror.
Well, now the chase is on. They try to escape, but they're not going to make them. Kidnapped.
Don't worry, may I see it?
What do you mean?
We've been watching you for some time. Please, I just want to see it.
He wants to know where he can find more of those. When pressed for details where they found that coin,
It was a long time ago. We went to this island for a vacation.
they're about 10 years old there.
We were
Flashback
10 years
time.
old.
Cave? Where's that?
You can't get there from here.
Ain't no place to go anyway. That's the double triangle.
They're going to end up at an
You
island.
guys believe those stories?
And sure enough, they head to an island where they're greeted by a little kid.
Got air?
Look, we ought to go look for that treasure.
You heard what those old men said about Jebediah. They'll shoot us.
Not if we go with that kid.
Maybe.
So they're there to try to find some treasure.
Ain't never showed me, 'cause it's too dangerous to go there.
How is it dangerous?
'Cause you gotta walk across the island, and if you don't get back before dark, night ghosts will get you.
Boy, bring an arm.
No, sir! No, sir!
It's our fault, sir. He told us you'd be angry, but we insisted.
He's big enough to handle himself. Just plain lazy. No good for nothing at times.
It's Jebediah. So flash forward to modern times, and our two kidnapped girls are leading the kidnappers to that same island that they were at years earlier. Flashback again. Here's Jebediah with Granny.
You children drink tea?
What the heck? I've never had herbal tea.
Very tasty, son.
Where's
Well, after having some of Granny's herbal tea, that blonde actress, Kirsten Baker, passes out. Meanwhile, Jebediah kills their boat. For really no reason whatsoever, an earthquake hits. Meanwhile, Candy comes too.
Where are we? They locked us in some shed. The herbal tea the old lady gave us was some kind of drug.
Later on, this guy gets killed. Not sure who that woman was, but that's the end of that guy. Meanwhile, Candy's trying to climb out of whatever hole she's in. She didn't make it.
Why ain't you helping?
Nice friends, Gramps. Why can't we just let them go?
What about the others? You think they ain't gonna call the police about the others?
The two young girls managed to escape.
This way!
Could not get any worse unless you and me die.
But one of them gets caught in a snare. And she's left hanging upside down.
Ain't gonna hurt her, do you, Gramps?
So he manages to cut her down, but her feet are still tied, so he has to pick her up and carry her, and he gets shot in the leg. He finds a bunch of bodies hanging on hooks.
Oh my God!
Now this is the older brother in the weird family. But he gets accidentally shot. And Granny chases after them with a knife, but I think she fell on it by mistake. Meanwhile, he's killing Jebediah. A little kid, the last survivor then, gives his doubloon necklace to one of the girls.
I don't even know what happened to Jimmy.
Fast forward to modern times again.
When the old man came to pick us up, our bodies were unconscious on the shore. The other bodies were never found.
So only the two girls survived.
Look at Repo, man. You went out and got it. I say, hey, I went out and took it. Sid?
I don't know what that was, but Sid's gone.
Sid? This way!
There goes the blonde chick. Turns out it's that little kid from years earlier. He's all grown up now and still living on the island. And he's learned to kick ass. So the two are reunited. They're grown-ups now. And he was able to retrieve her necklace from the kidnappers.
I got something from the man that I got on the trail.
How did you get him, man?
Oh, the sling.
My coin.
And guess what? There's more. That's our film.
Alright, let's talk about Island Fury, otherwise known as Please Don't Eat the Babies, which is a very strange title because there's nothing about baby eating in this movie. So, anyway, I'd never heard of this movie before. Now, IMDb says it came out in 1983, but there's just no way. This was clearly filmed in the late 80s, perhaps even 1990, who knows. But anyway, the movie itself starts out with these two women, and one of them was wearing a coin around her neck, like a doubloon, like on a necklace. And she and her friend are in some marketplace somewhere, and they keep getting followed by these two 80s-looking guys who eventually catch up with them and basically kidnap them. And then they say that that doubloon she's wearing is part of a treasure, and that she can probably lead them to that treasure. So that's why they kidnap them. So then we get a flashback where, maybe 10 years earlier, this girl and her friend were 10-year-olds, and they were hanging out with some older, I think maybe it was an older sister, older somebody, I don't know, babysitter, I don't know. But two chicks who were probably in their early 20s in bikinis, and two guys who were their boyfriends in Speedos. And they were on this boat, and they ended up going to this island where they basically got chased and harassed by this weird cannibal family. Old grandpa, young kid, young kid, like 10 years old. And then there was like maybe a 20-year-old, I think they called him Junior, and then there was a wife to the old man as well. And he basically starts chasing them, shooting at them, and there's hints of cannibalism in here, although it's not quite directly stated, at least not that I saw. But we do see some bodies on some meat hooks at one point. And ultimately, the only survivors of this time during this time in the past, this flashback, were these two girls, two young girls. They managed to escape with their lives. Everybody else died. But also the people who died were the old man died, as did the grandma. She died. Junior died. The only one who left from the family was the little kid who was like 10 years old. And somehow the girls lived, and she's had this doubloon forever. So they go back to the island. She leads them to this island, and ultimately the kidnappers get attacked by, ultimately we find out it's ultimately, how many times I got to say that? But it's they get attacked by the young kid who was like 10 years old in the past. He's now grown up, an adult, and he kills them, and then he gives the doubloon back that the kidnapper had stolen from her and gives it to the one girl. The other girl died, by the way. So basically we had two survivors at the end of this movie. One of the girls, the one who had the doubloon, and one of the members of the killer family from years earlier. So that's it. That's Island Fury. I don't know what to make of this movie. There was like a cast of virtually no one, although the old man was somebody who I didn't recognize, who did some old westerns and stuff in the past. Hank Warden is his name. And also Kirsten Baker, who was this super cute actress. She was in Friday the 13th Part 2. She's the woman who took who went skinny dipping in that movie. And she was also in Midnight Madness. She was in this movie too, and she looked good in that bikini. And there was a couple nude scenes thrown in here, some topless scenes. And that's about it. Just a strange little film. I don't know where this thing came from, where they got this from. I guess it was released on VHS at one point too. But yeah, never heard of this movie. I'm guessing very few people have. But there it is with Barracuda on this drive-in double feature. So anyway, picture quality looked fine. But the quality of the picture itself, not great. So anyway, from a theatrical or from a cinematic point of view, I should say. So anyway, that is Island Fury. Curious if anybody else has seen this weird relic. Get it for Barracuda. Much better film. But check it out. Let me know what you think about it and leave some comments. It's Please Don't Eat the Babies, otherwise known as Island Fury. Watch it.